Welcome to Lake TV's Community Spotlight Show, brought to you by the great folks at COMC, Central Ozarks Medical Center, where your health is their mission. As you know, we've got a new guest for you every week, and this week we have got a local celebrity, a guy that's been around for a while.
Yeah.
It's Jim McDermott, the owner and GM of Spirit FM for a long time, but that is changing now because you're about ready to move into a new phase of your calling, your career, whatever you want to call it.
Right. Yeah. Well, I moved down here from Dubuque, Iowa, and we started Spirit FM way back in 1985.
Yeah.
It's been going since then. Those first few years were, a little touch and go. It was a little hard to get by on the money we had, but eventually we got good staff, we got things, and we started growing. We went from one station here at the lake to 23 different signals all over the state of Missouri now.
That's amazing.
That broadcast Spirit FM. So we go all the way from Iowa to Arkansas and all across the state.
Yeah, it's like you say, you started with one. Now you're pretty much covering the whole state. It's 23. What do they call those, transponders that kind of boost the signal?
Well, some of them are full power stations and some of them are translators.
Okay.
But they all work they all come from one station. From the programming here in Camdenton is the flagship station for the whole network.
So have you always been a radio guy? Like, did you grow up in Iowa knowing that I wanted to be on the radio, man? How did you get into radio?
It was just kind of I fell into it, if you want to know the truth. I went to seminary thinking I was going to become a Bible teacher.
Okay.
And about halfway through seminary, I just caught the vision of how many people could be reached through broadcasting.
Yeah.
That instead of having one church of 200 or 300 people or being a professor at one little college, I could touch thousands of lives every single day. So I tried to get into TV.
Right.
And really couldn't get a job in that. Tried to get into a church, maybe audio-visual program. Came back to the Lake of the Ozarks in 1978 and got a job with KRMS.
Right. How about that?
KRMS. Started out doing nights at KRMS and went from there to Texas to Iowa and now back here. And so I just kind of fell into it, but I really appreciate that I got to do this because Christian radio reaches probably more people than pretty much any other medium, other than now Christian movies are starting to get good enough people are going to them. Yeah. But there for a long time, Christian movies and Christian TV weren't that good.
Pretty low quality.
Yeah. But Christian radio, there are many Christian stations that are number one in their markets. Grand Rapids, St. Louis, Orlando, places, Dallas, all of these stations, Christian stations, have been number one at some point in time.
That's pretty amazing when you think about it.
We are reaching 30-some million people every day with Christian radio. Yeah. And I don't know of any other Christian medium that has that much influence on everybody's life every day.
Absolutely. And it's funny you say, we started in 1985, a long, long time ago. For old guys like me, that's not that long ago.
Well,
I remember that pretty well, 1985. And back then, the Christian music was kind of just starting to find itself, right? Christian music has come a long way.
Oh, I would say we have artists that are just as good as the mainstream world. And it's just a matter of getting them out and getting people to hear them. You take a guy like Toby Mac or For King and Country, the two of them could do a Super Bowl halftime show that would wow this country.
And it would not be X-rated either.
That's right.
More than likely. Yeah. So, and it's funny because I'm sure it started before Amy Grant, but Amy Grant was kind of the first real big Christian artist, wasn't she? Maybe the Imperials, somebody along those lines.
Really, Amy kind of opened the door and got the world's attention. Michael W. Smith was right behind her, and there were a few others after that, but for the most part, that opened the door.
Yeah, and it's become so good. So you talk about you grew up in Iowa. And
did.
then you went to college, I think, in Bolivar. How in the world did you get to the Lake of the Ozarks? Why did this become home?
I married a local girl.
Ah, there you go.
I married a girl that grew up right here in Camdenton at the Lake of the Ozarks, and she always had a dream of moving back here and living right down where we live. We live right across the street from my mother-in-law, and we built a house there way back in 1993, and so that's where we are, and this is where God has planted me and used me, obviously, throughout the state of Missouri to touch a lot of lives in this part of the country.
Right.
So,
Did you know when you started up Spirit FM 1985, it was going to grow into this? Did you have the vision that it would become what it is, or not really?
not really. I thought if we could ever get to a point where, this is going to sound funny, but if we ever get to the point where we had like $12,000 a month in support,
Yeah.
we'd be set. We'd be set. And we're a long way beyond that at this point in time. But we started off with the one station, and then we added a few translators, Jeff City and Sedalia and Waynesville, and that helped us get established and grow.
Yeah.
And then eventually our board said, enough with the translators, let's go to full power stations. And so we started building and buying more stations through the years, and that's helped our network
Right.
continue to grow.
And we're going to take a break here in a second. When we come back, talk about what the mission is for Spirit FM. So we're talking with Jim McDermott, the longtime owner and general manager of Spirit FM. That's going through a bit of a change right now. We'll talk about that too when we come back here on the Community Spotlight Show. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, Lake TV's got it all. We think it's hot stuff when things cool down. We spring into action when things start warming up. Of course, summer is one big, huge shootout on Lake TV. And we fall in love all over again when autumn rolls around. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, Lake TV's got it all. At COMC, your health is our mission. Central Ozarks Medical Center is growing in our community with a new dental location to serve you in Eldon and a new location in Lori. COMC also makes your children a priority with a mobile dental unit serving schools in rural areas where access can be a challenge. COMC also offers OBGYN, sports medicine, pediatric, and behavioral health care. Get more info on how COMC can help you at centralozarks.org. COMC, where your health is our mission. If it's happening at the lake, it's happening on Lake TV. From the polar plunge to festivals, parades, aquapalooza, and boat shows, Lake TV has it all. Even the granddaddy of them all, the shootouts. If you're looking for places to party, things to do, or even a new home to move into, you've gotta love Lake TV. Welcome back to Lake TV's Community Spotlight Show, brought to you by the great folks at COMC, Central Ozarks Medical Center. We're talking with Jim McDermott, owner, GM, longtime owner, GM, and founder of Spirit FM in 1985. So when you started this up, what message did you want to get out to people through Spirit FM?
I think our main goal with Spirit FM is just to help the church be the church better. I mean, so oftentimes people go to church and then they go home and they don't always live the church life at home. Christian radio is one of the best things we've found to help people become better followers, better moms and dads and kids and all of that. And it helps them be better church members.
Yeah.
People who give to Christian radio, it's been proven, also give more to their church. So our goal has always been to help the church do what they do. And we changed our focus about 7 years ago. I went to a conference and a guy said, if you continue to be Christian radio, you'll be gone in 7 years. Because everything Christian was kind of having trouble making it at the time. And so I'm on my way home from Atlanta. I get this word from God, become connection. Make connection the thing of your focus. And so that's what we did. We became Spirit FM, get connected. That's our slogan now. And our mission basically is to connect people to God and to each other.
Yeah.
To help people become better followers of Jesus and help them share that with everybody around them and to do mission to those around them.
Right, right. And you're not battling the churches, you're trying to help the churches, basically. It's
We're here to definitely help them.
Right. That's very cool. And that is changing because you are about ready to move into a new phase of your life, right?
That's right.
Tell us about that. What's happening?
I'll be 70 in about 4 months. And I always kind of set a goal of ending the radio career at 70. But I've had a dream for at least a couple of years of starting an organization that would help smaller stations, just like we were in 1985, where we didn't even have enough money to drill a well for 3 years to have a bathroom in our studio. I want to help these smaller stations that are out there, especially there's a lot of these low power local stations that don't have anything. And I want to go out and be able to help them buy an automation system or buy a transmitter or a control board, things that would help them sound so much better, but they just don't have the money to do it.
Wow.
That's my goal is to, and we might do that for some churches as well. There's some smaller churches out there that don't have very good audio systems or video systems, and we can help them too.
Or any systems at all.
That's
really,
our goal.
some of them,
That's my goal is to be, and I'll set 5 years as kind of a, we'll see. We'll try it for 5 years, and if it works, we'll keep it going.
Yeah.
And it may catch on.
All right. So you're moving on from Spirit FM.
Right.
And you're handing over those reins to who?
To Northwestern Media, which is a part of the University of Northwestern in Minneapolis. They have Christian radio stations all over the Midwest. Their stations are the best, I think, around the country. They're nominated for five of their stations are nominated for Station of the Year just this year.
Wow.
Coming up at our convention in May or in June. And so they do quality Christian radio. It will be very similar. The music will be the same. They'll have local people here, and it will be very little transition from Spirit FM. Different people, but still the great Christian radio that people have known for years.
Right. And I'm guessing since your wife is from here, you're not moving anywhere, right?
Oh,
You're
no.
probably this is still going to be
No, we're
home
building
base.
another office building for a new ministry we're going to call Connect Media Ministries, and we're going to connect people to the resources that they need to do their job better.
Wow. So I'm guessing with that, you're going to be doing a lot of traveling around the country, probably seeing these people.
Probably more than I have been doing in the past, yeah.
Yeah. Do you like to travel?
I do. My wife doesn't like to travel much, but yeah, maybe she'll like getting me out of the house for a while too. I
Well,
don't know.
there is always that, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of people know that you're a runner. I mean, you have been like a marathon runner, and you're still running.
I'm trying to qualify for Boston to get back to go back to Boston one of these days. That's kind of my goal. I've been running for a long time, about 13 years. I've been hurt for the last about 6 months. It seems like I've had one, pain after another, but I think that's about over, and I'm going to get back. I do triathlons too. I've done 3 of those Ironman races.
Those are harder than marathons, aren't
And
they?
yeah, that's a whole day. You're talking 14, 15 hours on the track. So I probably won't do any more of those big long Ironmans, but I still might do the shorter ones that are about 5 or 6 hours.
That's amazing.
And
I mean, I think it's safe for me to say you've run more in the last week than I've run in the last decade, probably, But a lot of people could say that. But I mean, you look like you're just in great shape. So it pays off.
that was what got me running, was to get my body back in shape. Believe it or not, I was at 206 pounds not many years ago, and now I'm about 150, which is what I weighed in high school. So
I was there about a couple weeks ago. All right, so real quickly, how do people get more information on Spirit FM?
Well, the best way is at our website, spiritfm.org. There's a lot of information there. And if they ever want to find out more about us, obviously they could tune in.
Yeah.
91.7 here at the Lake of the Ozarks.
Absolutely.
And we would love to have them listen in. Our morning show is fun. We have fun together. And but contact Amy. Amy runs our office for us. She can answer questions for you. But again, you'll find most of the information you need on our website spiritfm.org.
Okay, there you go. Thank you for joining us for Lake TV's Community Spotlight Show.